Today is Wednesday, March the 6th, 2024, the day after 75 Hard. Just wanted to record a video. I recorded a video before we started 75 Hard. It was day 0, and so this is just the day after, all right? A reflection on the whole thing. So, in order to be done with 75 Hard, 75 days straight, okay, you have to complete 5 critical tasks. You have to pick a diet and stick to it. Part of that's required in the book is that no alcohol of any kind. That is the one requirement for the diet that is imposed upon you. Otherwise, whatever diet you want, I mean, as long as it's not like just junk, eating junk all the time. I'm going to be on a fast food diet, all right? That's not the point. But yeah, pick a diet and stick to it. Ours, based on this book right here, Wheat Belly, all right? I have not actually read this. A friend of mine read it, got me a copy of it, and was able to learn a lot from my friend. I do intend to read this myself, but effectively it was the idea that the wheat we have now has been modified and hybridized and crossbred so many times that it's actually now a foreign substance that our body really doesn't know what to do with. And so because of that, part of our diet, we wanted to completely eliminate wheat of any kind from our diet for 75 days. All right, think about that. That's not just saying no to bread. Okay, that's any type of burger, any type of sandwich, any type of wrap. All right, even keto-friendly stuff that's all made with wheat flour. Any type of excuse me, soup, like a cream of chicken, cream of mushroom. We had some of that in the cabinet, and it's still up in the cabinet because it's made with wheat flour. We found out that turkey meatballs, all right, we were looking at the package, seeing what we could get, and no, they're packed together with flour. All right, so my wife has made some meatballs like with almond flour and such, but let's see, what else? A lot of your gravies will have wheat flour in them. Even a lot of your cornmeal. All right, like a corn muffin mix and stuff, that all has wheat flour in it. You have to be very specific in what you select. And we were careful about all of that stuff. And to my knowledge, we did not eat any wheat. All right, so think about that. No pizzas, no burgers, no sandwiches, no wraps, nothing for 75 days. No alcohol. We already are not drinkers, so that wasn't a big deal. I've never had alcohol before in my life as a beverage, so that was not a difficult part for me. And then we wanted to avoid processed foods that had a surplus of added sugars. So we capped that at 2 grams of added sugar, mostly because that's what our peanut butter had. And peanut butter, I think some ranch dressing and such. There were a lot of sauces and things that we couldn't have, but hot sauce, no added sugars, at least the kind that I get. We were able to have some ranch, just some basic ranch. Yeah, that was about it. As far as the sauces and such, because most everything else, most of your salad dressings, most of your sauces have a lot of added sugar. And so, yeah, we had peanut butter every now and then. That was our treat. It was really good. And through this process of eliminating the sugar, things like carrots became sweet to us. Fruit became really sweet. Fruit I didn't think that I liked, all right? We had no problem with the sugar that God puts into things. We just didn't want added processed sugars, all right? That was our standard, and I'm pleased to say I don't think that we messed up during the entire time. If we did, we obviously would have failed. So that was our diet. We stuck to it. I really don't have a desire to like go get a pizza or anything like tonight. We're having chicken and vegetables. That's it. My wife does this thing where she cooks the chicken up on a rack, and it is set on top of a cookie sheet, so all the drippings from the chicken go down on the vegetables below on the cookie sheet. The chicken is nice and crispy, like the skin of it, and yeah, really good, really good. So for 75 days straight, had to maintain your diet, no alcohol. We did that. The second thing is you have to drink a gallon of water every single day, and I'm about 3/4 of a gallon today. Obviously, I'm not bound by 75 hard right now, but I do see the benefits in that. Not drinking anything else besides coffee. We're not getting sweet tea. We're not getting Cokes or anything like that, because I know those things aren't good for me. So they're going to be kind of cut out. But if you think about it, a gallon of water, and I always drank a little bit more than a gallon every day, just to make sure that I was good to go. That is 75 gallons of water. Did you know that your standard bathtub holds 80 gallons of water? All right, full up. So imagine that. Imagine filling up your bathtub to the brim and being like, that's what you have to drink in 2.5 months. All right, that's a lot of water. That's a lot. So just some perspective there. To my knowledge, we did that every single day. There were quite a few days I went above that, just depending on the amount of work outside that I had to do and whatever else. 2 45-minute workouts. One of them must be outdoors, and they're not to be back to back. It was recommended a 3 to 4 hour gap between them, and required for the LiveHard program. And our primary goal with the outdoor stuff was to have our packs on to prepare for the Refuge Ruckus that we are going to tomorrow, actually. I looked at the calendar. We were specifically preparing to go to this, training ourselves to carry a pack. Keep in mind, we were going from no daily exercise, no daily physical activity above just, working in the workshop. My wife watches some kids a few times a week, but does design work at her desk. Just us getting stuff done around the house, running errands around town, just normal everyday stuff. For the years that we've been married, we really very few times have actually gone and done a dedicated workout. So we were going from a sedentary lifestyle to now 2 45 workouts per day, one of them outside. So we did that the day after winter started, all right, December 22nd. That's when we started this. And winter is still technically going on until, for another week and a half-ish. All right, almost 2 weeks. And so it was cold. Through a lot of January, it was really cold outside. So we're double layering, pants on, got 5 layers up top, strapping our pack on in addition to that, and going to get stuff done. So we've walked through rain, through snow, through sleet, through high winds. We did that every single day. And for the days that it was really cold, we did some at-home workouts, which we found some things. It was actually a walk at home. All right, so this lady named Leslie Sansom has done this whole walk at home program, and most of the videos are free on the YouTube. Well, we found a 5K one that was about 45 minutes long, and that's what we would do for our indoor workouts most of the time. We did some insanity one time, we did a few other things, but mostly we tried to do 2 rucks every single day. Okay, if you've been watching this, you've been tracking with the weight of my pack. My wife's pack increased in weight also. Her body weight has gone down too. All right, we're not sharing any of that. She's camera shy. She doesn't want to come on here, so sorry, you will not get to meet her at this time. But my wife did it with me. All right, it's a huge blessing. And if you have a spouse, a husband or wife, I encourage you to do this together. All All right, there were days that I didn't feel great and she encouraged me, and there were days that she didn't want to do it and I encouraged her. Okay. So what we did, so we wouldn't injure ourselves, is we kind of built a ramp from going from zero activity to getting up to full weight in our packs. And so we started out with no accessories added to the packs, or whatever stuff in external pockets or pouches or things that could be removed. We removed all of those and steadily worked our way up in weight. That built our body slowly and avoided the injury, and that allowed us to lose some weight at a more healthy pace. We found with the walk at home, it was not easy to start with, but it got easier. But when we had to keep pushing ourselves to go harder, I'd be doing push-ups at the end of it. We'd add extra things during like the cool down to make it more intense and such. But eventually it got to the point where we were just doing 2 rucks per day because the walk at home was getting too easy. And so that's what we did for our workouts. 45 days straight. 75 days straight. So we did a good job with that. I'm very proud of us. That was a difficult thing. The water and the workouts, those were 2 very difficult things. As far as the reading, 10 pages every single day from an entrepreneurial, self-help, self-improvement, non-fiction type of book. I've got a stack of books here that we are about to go through. So the night before all of this started, I had just purchased and just gotten the 75 Hard book. So I read this all in one night. So technically this was not part of my reading for 75 Hard, but I wanted to read everything before we actually started. And these are all the books that I either got through or am still in the process of reading right now. All right, so I believe the first book I did was Developing the Leader Within You 2.0 by John Maxwell. Great book. There's a review on it. I read a few things that I highlighted through here. So that was my first one that I read. Then I read The E-Myth Manager by Michael Gerber. All right, great book. The guy writes the way that he talks. All right, so you have to imagine like a public speaker and everything while you're reading this. I always enjoy his stuff. My wife read one of his books and it just cracked her up how he wrote. But yeah, great books. All the E-Myth series, especially for small business owners and folks like that. I read short book, The ABCs of Property Management by Ken McElroy. All right, so just some opportunities that came up with helping to plan things out for the property where I live, so I was trying to brush up on some stuff. Then at the start of the new year, Andy Frisella released his other book, the book on mental toughness. This talks about being mentally tough, dives deep into that, gets some case studies, has a complete reprint of the 75 Hard book in here, and describes the LiveHard program. All right, so read that one quickly because I had a long oil change, so yeah. Then I went on to John Maxwell's The Leadership Handbook, 26 critical lessons every leader needs. And because of a lot of stuff that was in here, he would reference some of his previous works, and that led me to actually buying the one I'm currently reading, Today Matters by John Maxwell. All right, so getting daily habits in place, that's something that Andy Frisella talks about. That's kind of the purpose of 75 Hard. I read chapter 9 to this, so tomorrow I'll be reading chapter 10. All right, so I'm a little bit more than halfway through it, but that is one of those things that I'm definitely going to incorporate into my daily schedule every single day, is reading something that's going to help me grow. Okay, so those are the books every day We read part of it. Obviously, to get through all those, I read a little bit more than 10 pages per day. I tried to go whole chapters at a time, or at least section to section, because I kind of want to keep the thoughts together that the authors intended. All right, I hate leaving off, 3/4 of the way through a chapter. All right, so ended up reading more than 10 per day, and so yeah, every day for 75 days. The last thing we had to do was take a progress picture. All right, you're not going to see what I look like without a shirt. You don't need to see that. But what you are going to see are screenshots to show you the whole thing. Every day I've given you a snapshot of the current day plus like the previous 3, and I've just worked my way down the folder on my computer, showing you those every day. But here are 3 pictures. Show days 1 through 25, 26 through 50, and 51 to 75. Just to show that, yes, I indeed took a picture every single day. All right, from the time when I woke up to before I went to bed. I did that critical task. That one was just something I just had to set a set time to do that, and it wasn't like, all right, 8:30 every day, but no, it was right before I recorded the videos each and every night. I would have my wife take that picture of me with the camera here. I don't have a smartphone, so it doesn't have a camera. This is my phone right here. It's got a cracked screen. All right, tiny guy. Love this thing. But yeah, I did that every day for 75 days straight. So still getting over the sickness, the cough that I've had, congestion and things since like Sunday, I think. So what has this process taught me? This process has taught me that who I am in life is based on what I do every single day. And if there's ever a time when I'm not overly pleased with where I'm at in life, that means I've made poor choices. All right? Success doesn't happen overnight. Failure doesn't happen overnight. It's all the result of my daily routine. And so I need to put things in place every single day to get me where I want to go. And doing the hard things, doing the things that aren't fun, doing the monotonous, the mundane, the things I have to get done every single day, that's what's going to get the results in my life. And I'm not doing this for personal gain, for wealth, for anything like that. I'm a servant of the Most High God. And He has given me talents, and it is my obligation to return interest back to Him on those talents. And so I need to be living my life in a productive way, in an excellent way, to be a good steward of the time, talents, and money that He has given to me, all while loving Him and loving others. That's the goal. And so my daily habits really shape who I am. So I'm going to continue to drink a lot of water. I'm going to continue to read books, but I'm also going to be intentional about reading the scriptures every day, about praying every day, about making my declarations of faith and truth every single day. All right, these things we'll talk more about when we get into phase 1. Before we start phase 1, which may be as soon as next week, it may be a couple weeks, I'm not sure. My wife and I haven't come to a consensus on that yet. But I will do a day 0, just like I did day 0 of 75 hard. I'll do a day 0 for phase 1 of LiveHard and explain what we're doing there. And it'll be another series, and I'll do that for phase 2, for phase 3, and yeah, we'll just work our way through it. But I know my relationship with the Father is the most important thing right now, and so the areas of my life that I want to focus in on, to be disciplined about, to do every single day, no matter how I feel, is to first spend time with Him in the Word, in prayer, and then reminding myself of the truths in His scripture and declaring them over me and over my wife, over our house, over our endeavors. That's what I want to do. All right? And of course, there will be business things. There will be things that I'll be doing to improve my business, the offerings that my leather business has, just the way I structure my day of when I say yes to certain things, when I say no to certain things. I'm going to have some dedicated time that I can be prototyping and getting some stuff done. So 75 Hard has taught me to be more conscientious about my daily schedule. And it's also taught me and my wife both that we can do it. It's taught us that if we put our mind to something, we can get it done. And so we're going to carry this over. We're going to keep it going day in and day out. We're going to continue to eat more healthily, drink water, be improving ourselves, stay active. That's our goal. All right? So this is the day after. It felt good. It feels good being done. All right. There were some days that were great. There were other days that it was absolutely terrible, and there were some days it was like, why did we choose to do this? All right. I was recording videos at the end of the day, shortly before I go to bed every night. You saw how tired I was. If you've watched some of these, you saw how just drained I was at certain times. All right. That's just the way it is. But we got it done. All right. So it's the day after. We're about to eat dinner. And actually, the timer went off while we were recording this, so I edited that part out, but maybe you heard the stuff sizzling over there on the stove, so it smells good. I can smell out of this nostril, not that one. I'm still congested on that side. But yeah, I hope and pray that this series of videos can be an encouragement to you at whatever time that you are watching these. All right. Oh, that's another thing I've learned with 75 Hard, of doing these videos, which are not part of 75 Hard. It's just an accountability thing. I've learned that just because you post a lot of content to YouTube doesn't mean anyone's going to watch it. So not very many people have watched this first time through, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm not trying to make money off of it. I'm doing this because I know there will be people one day that watch this, and I pray that it's an encouragement and a blessing to you. And I'm going to be spending more time investing in this channel to get you ready for the greater exodus, because that's what's coming. All right. Thank you so much for joining me for these daily check-ins. And I truly pray that you are blessed. Bye now.